Hey guys, I want to show you how to adjust bearings on these goosenecks. Just a singles in the rear. I think these are the only ones that are greased. If you got dualies, for the most part, now don't quote me on this, but for the most part they're oil baths. At least the trailers I've ran by. So when you come in, you got to lift it off the ground like so you spin the wheel. This is the way you check them: is you grab the bottom and top and try to tilt it in and out pretty much. You're supposed to feel a movement, but you're not supposed to see it. So the movement is supposed to be minimal. You don't want to tighten the piss out of the bearings because things get heated and they expand, but you also don't want to have this wobbly bearing and lose your axle, or before you lose your axle, you're going to lose your tire with your spindle. So to adjust it, what do you need to do? You just pop that cap off. Where's that bad boy? Right here. This cap, pop it off with the mallet, rotate your wheel, use one of these bad boys, and pop it off. You'll run into one of these things. This sucker sits right here. It's locked in, You pop it off. This flathead screwdriver has teeth that it's spring loaded, so it holds on there with springs. And you tighten this thing. The way I do it, and it works for me, is I take a 38mm socket. I think that's what it was. 36 or 38. Nope, it was 38. So a 38mm socket, and I tighten it. Not the piss out of it, but I tighten it really nice with the ratchet. And then back it off, and then I take the socket and I hand tighten as much as I can. So like so. You put the socket on there, tighten it with the ratchet, back it off the ratchet, then come back. So pretty much you've compressed everything together, so there's not a whole lot of movement left. Then you come back at it with hand tight as much as you can. And, as much as you can with your hand tight. It's a pretty weird system, but it works for me. And then try your adjustments. You're supposed to feel minimal, but you're not supposed to see. Or you're not supposed to see the movement. You're only supposed to feel it barely. And that's what you get, When you buy a brand new trailer, first thing you do is you come to your shop, yard, whatever. Adjust your bearings. Just because it's new doesn't mean jack. I almost lost axles because whoever put my trailer together at the yard, they really screwed up, and I did about 10 miles with a loaded trailer, and I thought I was going to lose my axles. They were so hot. I mean, you can't touch them for a second. I mean, they're freaking hot. You can get second-degree burn off of it. So I brought the trailer to my yard. Adjust the bearings. Use Schaefer's grease. Really good stuff. Guys, I'm not sponsored by any of these guys. I just use a lot of their product. Schaefer's really good stuff. And while I went down the road, I was fine. So ever since that day, before that day, I'll do 300 miles and I'll adjust my bearings. Well, after that day, I'd take a brand new trailer, bring it to the yard, adjust the bearings. Go for 300 to 500 miles, adjust the bearings again, and then you're good. You're good for... in miles, I'll put it in miles. You're probably good for about 25,000 miles. So we do it every season, pretty much summer, spring, Well, I'm going backwards, but winter, spring, summer, and fall, So every 3 months. But we do about 100,000. Each of our trailers do about 100,000 a year, so that's why I'm coming up with 25,000 mile mark. And they're still fine, They're a lot more out of whack when you're coming from the factory when they're brand new than they are after 25,000. Some of them are bad, not trailers. Some of the, the ends, some of the tires are bad. Some of them are left untouched, and we just grease the bearings. Guys, don't overdo it. When you're greasing them, just as long as you see grease coming out of it a little from, within the bearings. But when you're greasing, make sure you're churning the tires so it's not pushing out the back seal. So all the pressure is not on one seal, and just at some point it gives. So rotate your tire, grease it. You got your greaser right here. And so once you see grease coming in, well, you can see it right there, perfect. The bearing. Once you see grease coming in, you're good. Well, you can see this one's a little empty, so we'll add a little grease as soon as we see them bearings getting covered. We know we're good. Because if you overfill it, it just... something happens with the grease, and it just doesn't have enough air, I guess, to cool it. But something happens with the grease, and it just gets all chunky. So anyways, I hope I'm helping you guys. Let me know what else I missed and whatnot. Have a good day, guys. Bye.